Good morning, Math A. We are going to be doing lesson 6.3b. So hopefully you have printed it out, or you have a lined piece of paper, or you're doing it electronically with the PDF. So here, draw a model. It might be a chart, it might be a picture. We're just going to see depending on the problem. Then write and solve an equation and find the indicated missing angles. A pair of angles are equal. If their sum is 144, find the angle measure. So a pair, that means I have two angles. So on this one, I think I'm going to do a chart. It just depends on the problem which way I go. So there's my first angle and my second angle, and it says that they are equal. So if one of them x, the other one is also x, and their sum is 144. Okay, so then I know that if I add these two things, they're supposed to be equal to 144. So x plus x is 2x. So 2x equals 144. So now I have my equation, and now I'm able to solve it. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And when I divide by 2, I get x is equal to 72. And then I answer my question. X is 72. And the angle measure is 72 degrees. And then I double check. If I had 72 plus 72, I would in fact have 144. All right, next question. Two adjacent angles are in a ratio of 4 to 5. The sum of the angles is equal to 54 degrees. Find the angle measures. So adjacent just means next to each other. So that's not going to really help with our picture. We're just going to go ahead and make a chart. I've got two angles, first, second. Adjacent just means they share a leg. And the ratios are 4 to 5. So does that mean that one is 4 and one is 5? No, because that wouldn't add up to 54. That means that was reduced. So one of them is 4x and the other is 5x. And their sum is 54 degrees. So then I know that if I add these two things, they have to equal 54. So I'm going to go ahead and write my equation. I know that 4x plus 5x, well, that's 9x. So 9x equals 54. Then I can solve. I'm going to divide by 9. I get x is equal to 6. And then I got to plug back in. So if I plug back in here, 4 times 6 is 24, and 5 times 6 is 30. And that does, in fact, add up to 54, so I know I'm okay. So the angle measures are 24 and 30. All right, scrolling down the page. Angle ABC and CBE are adjacent angles. And I know that they're adjacent angles because I can see that the side they share. They share side BC. See how they both have a BC in them? That's why I know they're adjacent. Angle ABC is 30 degrees larger than angle CBE, and their sum is 70 degrees. Find their angle measure. I could draw this if I want, or I can make a chart. Either way, I guess I'll draw this one. Got adjacent angles. This is not drawn to scale by any means. We have A, B, C, and C, B, E. They're adjacent. They're next to each other. ABC is 30 larger than CBE. So I know it's comparing to CBE, so I'm going to make that one the X. And my other one is 30 larger, so X plus 30. And I know that the whole thing is supposed to add up to 70. Okay, so I can write my equation. X plus 30 plus X equals 70. I want to clean that up. I'm going to combine like terms. 2x plus 30 equals 70. Now I'm solving my two-step equation, so I'm going to subtract 30. I get 2x equals 40. Then I'm going to divide by 2, so I get x is equal to 20. And then I need to plug it back in. So here, this is 20 degrees. And 30 plus 20 is 50 degrees. And 20 plus 50 does add up to 70, so I know I'm okay. I need to scroll my page down a little bit. So we found out that x was 70. sorry, x was 20. And we plugged it back in. And the measure of angle ABC, we figured out that was 50 degrees. And the measure of CBE, that was 20 degrees. All right, next problem. Angle ABC and CBD are supplementary angles. Well, what does it mean to be supplementary? What does that word mean? Hopefully you're saying it adds up to 180. Good. Now they don't have to be together, but I like to make them together. So I know they're adding up to 180. And I'm not drawing this to scale. Maybe something like that. Okay. Angle ABC, and CBD are supplementary, whose ratio is 2 to 3. So remember, that doesn't mean that one angle is 2 degrees and one angle is 3 degrees. That means that one angle is going to be 2x and the other is going to be 3x. And we know that since they're supplementary, they have to add up to 180 degrees. So we build our equation. 3x plus 2x equals 180. Combine like terms. 5x equals 180. Divide by 5. X equals 36. So I get x is 36. Then I got to plug back in. 2 times 36 is 72. And 3 times 36 is 108. And 108 plus 72 does add up to 180, so I know I'm okay. Then I label my stuff. Angle ABC, that was 72 degrees. And CBD, that was 108 degrees. Okay, I'm moving on again. If you're not caught up, you just hit the pause button. Here we go. Next page. One supplementary angle is 15 degrees less than twice the other. Find the measure of two supplementary angles. Again, I can make a chart or I can make a drawing. I'm going to go ahead and make a chart. I have one supplementary angle is twice the other. So I have two angles, first, second. And I have a sum. And I know the word supplementary. Supplementary means it adds up to 180 degrees. So my sum is 180 degrees. One supplementary is 15 degrees less than twice the other. So it doesn't matter which one I call x. I've got to call one of them x. Then I have to do 15 degrees less than. Remember, less means minus and than means reverse. So we're subtracting 15 at the end. Twice the other. Twice means 2 times, so 2x. Okay, so we can build our equation. 2x minus 15 plus x equals 180. I always simplify before I solve. So here I get 3x minus 15 equals 180. Now I'm ready to solve my two-step equation. I'm going to add 15. So 3x equals 195. Then I am going to divide by 3, and I get x is 65. Then I need to plug back in. So 2 times 65 is 130. 130 minus 15 is 115. And this one is 65. And 115 plus 65 is 180. So the measures are 115 degrees and 65 degrees. All right, I'm going to have you pause the video and try number 6 and then check your answer. All right, did you get 70 and 20? If you did, you can fast forward through the video. If you didn't, then we are going to talk about it. So I said complementary. So when I saw complementary, I knew that I had to put 90 degrees. Then I put my angles in. These two have to add up to 90. So I wrote my equation. I have to put equals 90 there, don't I? Equals 90. And then I combine like terms. I added 30, divide by 6 to get 20. I plugged back in. 4 times 20 is 80. 80 minus 10 is 70. I plugged back in the second angle. 2 times 20 is 40. 40 minus 20 is 20. I checked my work. 70 plus 20 does get me 90. So I listed my answers. X is 20, Measure of ABC is 70, and measure of CBE is 20. All right, next one, number 7. If ACB and DCF are vertical angles, so we have to remember what vertical angles are. So important that you know your angle relationships. Otherwise, you won't be able to do the poems because you don't know what vertical angles is. So vertical angles, again, they are opposite sides of an intersecting or opposite sides of an X. I see they have a common vertex. The common vertex is C. One of the angles is ACB, and the other one is DCF. Okay. ABC is 5x, and DCF is 3x plus 20. And I remember the vertical angles are congruent, so I can make them equal. 5x equals 3x plus 20. Then we have to remember how to solve an equation when we have variables on both sides. You want to get the variables to one side. I like to move the lower variable. Doesn't really matter, but I just like to smooth that lower variable. So here I get 2x equals 10, equals 20. Then I divide, and I get x is equal to 10. My x is 10. Then I plug back in. 5 times 10 is 50. I don't really have to plug in the next one, but I like to just to make sure I'm actually equal. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 20 is 50. Yep, they're equal. So I know I'm good. So this one is 50, and this one is 50. All right, we are at the end of the lesson. So now you are going to go do your homework. Have a good day.